Hello learners, I welcome you all to this video program on learning outcomes for the block on hydrosphere, which is for the course on physical geography of BSc General program. So in this block, I expect before viewing this video program, you have gone through all the video programs related to this block, like Introduction to Hydrosphere, which is done in two parts, part 1 and part 2, and then Ocean Floor and Relief Features, part 1 and part 2. Actually, there are 5 units of this block, like Introduction to Hydrosphere, Ocean Floor and Relief Features, Distribution of Temperature and Salinity in the Oceans, Tides and Currents, and Ocean Deposits. And all these 5 units have been bifurcated into altogether 11 video programs, in which the first unit is divided into 2 parts, part 1, part 2, and similarly the second unit is done in 2 parts, and the third unit is done separately, like we are dealing with distribution of temperature in the oceans in one part, and then distribution of salinity in the oceans in the other part. And then the fourth unit, which is related to tides and currents, we are doing in 3 videos, like oceanic circulations tides part 1, oceanic circulations tides part 2, and oceanic circulations related to ocean currents especially. And then we come to the last unit, which is the ocean deposits, and it is also done in 2 videos, like part 1 and part 2. Before going through the learning outcomes of this block on hydrosphere, I expect that you have gone through all the video programs that I have just mentioned, and you can also download the study material from the link given here. Like you can go to eGyanKosh, and then you can explore in the self-learning materials, then School of Sciences, and then the current material, and then you can go to the BSc General program. There are several programs in School of Sciences, so you have to search for BSc G program, and then after you click that, you can see different disciplines like geography, geology, mathematics, chemistry, etc. And you can just click on geography, and you can see all the study materials related to geography there. And you can open up the physical geography and download the entire block, or unit wise also you can download. So the study material is here, and the video programs, the links for the video programs would also be shared with you in our Vyas portal, or some other Swayam Prabha channel portal. And now in the unit related to Introduction to Hydrosphere, after going through this unit or the video program related to this unit, you should be able to define hydrosphere and mention its relevance, state the distribution of water on Earth in terms of percentage, and you will be able to explain it with the help of pie diagrams and all, like the percentage of water in different realms of water, etc. You can explain hydrological cycle in greater detail, and you can describe the oceans of the world, and also elaborate about cryosphere, which is the frozen part of the hydrosphere, then the surface waters and underground water, which is another important realm of water. So you can get questions related to cryosphere, like give an account of cryosphere. In that you can just start off like it is the frozen. You can define cryosphere, and there are 2 realms of cryosphere, like those which are found in land areas and those which are occupying the oceanic areas. The land areas you find in high altitude or high latitudinal areas, and the oceanic cryosphere can again be divided into ice shelf, ice pack, iceberg, etc. So you can also differentiate between these terms, and you can then questions can be asked related to like explain the subsurface vertical distribution of underground water with the help of a sketch. Then you can give the different zones which you have already studied in this video program related to introduction to hydrosphere. You can give the different zones. You can just first of all define what is underground water, how much percentage of underground water is found. Then go with the help of a suitable sketch, you can explain the zone of aeration, zone of saturation, then zone of confined water, and also you can show the cone of depression, which you have already studied in this unit. And then you can get short notes related to hydrological cycle, explain surface waters and oceans of the world. So you will be able to do these things after you go through these two video programs related to introduction to hydrosphere. In the second unit related to ocean floor and relief features, in which we have seen two videos. After viewing these video programs, you can define oceans and describe all the major oceans of the world. You can define and distinguish between different relief features of the oceans. Like you have already studied the different relief features, you can define them now very clearly, like it starts from continental shelf, then slope, then continental rise, and then the deep sea plain, and then you can explain the mid-oceanic ridges, and then oceanic deeps, then geodes, sea mounts, etc. So you have gone through all these features. You can explain the salient features with the help of sketch also. So it will be very good if you draw a sketch for these kinds of questions you get. Then you can summarize the bottom reliefs of all the major oceans of the world. You can even get questions, long questions related to this, like you can get questions like explain with suitable figure the mid-oceanic ridges and basins of the Atlantic Ocean. So you need to draw a sketch, a rough sketch actually, and then you can explain the main ridges like central ridge and the branch ridges, which you have gone in this unit and seen through this video program. And then you can explain the salient features and of these ridges and basins. Now you can compare the bottom reliefs of major oceans of the world after going through these video programs, because you have studied that in Atlantic Ocean there's a central ridge, in Indian Ocean also there is a central ridge, but you can compare, because Atlantic Ocean you see even north of equator the ridge is being unrestricted, because compared to Indian Ocean you see the northern part is blocked by the continental parts like Indian subcontinent and the Asiatic landmass. So the ridge is not that extended towards the north. There is difference between the bottom reliefs of major oceans of the world. Similarly, Pacific Ocean, you can see there's one major ridge, but there's no central ridge. There's a major ridge which runs from along the coast of New Zealand to the California coast. There's a major ridge, but there's absence of central ridge as such compared to these oceans. So you can get questions related to compare the relief features of the major oceans of the world. Now, in the next unit related to distribution of temperature and salinity in the oceans, after viewing the two video programs related to distribution of temperature and then distribution of salinity in the oceans, you can then define the properties of ocean water, different properties like temperature, salinity, why salinity is important in the oceans. You can explain, you can discuss the processes related to the heating of the oceans, and then you can distinguish between the horizontal and vertical distribution of temperature in the oceans, and you can define salinity and describe the salinity of different oceans. Then again you can explain the horizontal, vertical and regional distribution of oceanic salinity. So you have already studied the factors which affect the salinity and temperature of the ocean. So you can get questions related to these, like explain the factors which affect the salinity of the oceans, or explain the factors that affect the temperature distribution in the ocean. So both horizontal and vertical distribution, you need to go through these things, and you need to explain, you'll be able to explain these after viewing these video programs. Now, the unit related to tides and currents, we have explained first the different oceanic circulations like waves, currents, and tides. So you can get short answer questions related to what are the components of wave, explained with the help of a sketch. Now you can then differentiate between waves, currents, and tides also. You can describe different types of tides and different types of ocean currents, like based on the time duration, how we define different types of tides. You have gone through long classification of these tides in these video programs. Then what are the different types of currents? Are they warm or cold currents? Now equatorial or tropical or polar currents. You'll be getting questions like explain the ocean currents of Atlantic Ocean. You can get questions like that. So you'll have to explain all the ocean currents of Atlantic Ocean, both north of the equator and the southern part also. You'll have to explain all the oceanic gyres, how it forms, and what are the factors related to the movement of these ocean currents. After going through these video programs, you can explain the forces producing tides and factors behind ocean currents, as I already explained. Then you can visualize the variation in tides and the movement in ocean currents in different oceans. And you can recognize some of the useful measures to harness the potential of these tides and currents. You'll be getting questions related to different theories of the origin of tides. So you can explain different theories. You can get like equilibrium theory of Newton, explain this theory, or you can get separately explain the stationary wave theory of Harris related to the origin of tides. And so you can get these type of questions. You can get short questions related to oceanic gyres, what is thermohaline circulation, then general circulation pattern of ocean currents of Atlantic Ocean or any other ocean, like at an ocean, Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, etc. So these are the important questions which you can get. And you can get like compare between spring and neap tides, then what are the factors affecting the ocean currents, and give examples related to those factors. You can get questions like this. In the last unit related to ocean deposits, you have again two video programs, part 1 and part 2. Then after going through those video programs, you can define ocean deposits and explain its importance in the study of oceanography. You can classify ocean deposits on the basis of its location. You can again classify the ocean deposits on the basis of its sources and composition, and distinguish between them. And then you can compare the distribution of ocean deposits both horizontally and vertically, as you have seen in this video programs. And now you can get questions like give an account of ocean deposits on the basis of source and composition. Then you will have to start, give all the 6 types which you have seen in these video program, like terrigenous deposits, volcanic deposits, organic, inorganic, red clay. And you can give the subparts of those deposits also, like terrigenous you can divide into gravel, sand, mud, silt, clay, etc. And then like volcanic deposits you can divide into subaerial, submarine. You have gone through these video programs, and you'll be able to explain these in better detail. Now Then you can get questions like discuss in brief horizontal and vertical distribution of ocean deposits. So you have gone through the unit and you have seen the video programs. You can just explain how it happens, and you can also draw a rough sketch or related to that, like you have studied the world map where the related the horizontal distribution of ocean deposits. You can just give a rough sketch like red clay is found in these areas, and you can just make that will help you fetch better marks in your exams. And now, in case if you have any other problem related to these video programs or your course of study related to this block on hydrosphere of the course on physical geography, you can write to us at satyaraj@ignou.ac.in, and keep watching our programs. We'll be coming again with other blocks like atmosphere, lithosphere, and geotectonics also, of this course on physical geography. So keep watching. Thank you.